Dishonored originally released back on the Xbox 360 PS3 era in 2012. It's a first-person stealth game created by Bethesda and not really one you hear all that many people talk about. The game was successful enough though to get a sequel in 2016, which I may review in the future if you guys want to see that. But today we are here to talk about the original Dishonored. I'm going to give my general opinion and thoughts on the game and let you guys know if it's worth it in 2021. The story's protagonist is Corvo Attano, a bodyguard for the Empress of Dunwall, who was sent to far-off nations to try and find a cure to the rat plague that had been slowly killing the citizens of Dunwall. When Corvo returns, the Empress is assassinated by a mysterious group of magic-wielding assassins, and the Empress's daughter, Emily, is kidnapped. Corvo, being in the wrong place at the wrong time, is framed for the murder of the Empress and spends 6 months in jail before a mysterious group of loyalists break him out and task him with assassinating those who plotted the Empress's death and returning Emily to her rightful spot on the throne. The story is pretty interesting, albeit it's not anything crazy overall. It's pretty mediocre, and it's obviously not the focal point of the game. It's more of a premise so that you can go to all these locations and assassinate people. There's a few twists and unpredictable moments, and the story is serviceable, but certainly won't blow you away with great characters or writing. The gameplay is really what this game is all about, and man, it is a lot of fun. The game essentially is like a first-person Hitman game. You get this big area to infiltrate and targets to assassinate, and there's tons of different ways you can go about it. You can follow special opportunities with some of the side stories. There's different entrances and unique assassination kills to take advantage of. You can tackle the missions however you want. Just like Hitman and Splinter Cell, the game allows you to choose to play non-lethally or lethally, and there's actual consequences with the playstyle you choose. For non-lethal, you can knock out guards, use sleep darts, and lethal, you can become a maniac and kill everyone. And based on how you play will determine your ending to the game. There's two endings. One is high chaos, which is what you get if you decide to play the game lethally and kill a bunch of people, and the low chaos ending, which you get for being a good soul and only incapacitating and sparing your enemies. Now, since my name is MasterAssassin and I have a major bloodlust, I tried to be a nice assassin and knock people out, but eventually I got tired of that and started to go off. Really cool though how your playstyle affects your ending to the game, and personally it was way more fun to play the game lethally for me because you can use a lot more of your gadgets. It's easier to hide bodies if you have the ability that has bodies disintegrate when you kill them. There's cool animations, dismemberment, and decapitation. Being a pacifist is just a bit more boring in this game, but it obviously has its rewards as well. And of course, as expected from a stealth game, the stealth is really fun and in-depth. There's of course a large variety of assassinations and animations. You get a large variety of weapons and magic powers at your disposal. You get your sword, a pistol, a crossbow with regular and sleep bolts, traps and trip mines, grenades, all kinds of tools for dealing with enemies. The powers are also really fun. The most useful and one I found myself using the most was Blink, which allows you to teleport and traverse mid-range distances. It's really useful for getting the high ground and infiltrating areas and getting the drop on your enemies. You also get the ability to slow down time so you can easily kill people. You can summon rats to eat your enemies. Dark vision allows you to spot people through walls in your vicinity, and possession allows you to control animals and humans to fight for you. There's also enhancements you can unlock that give you increased health, movement speed, jump height, the shadow kills that disintegrate killed enemies, things like that add some nice progression as you play through the game. All these powers and enhancements are unlocked through runes, which you find in the levels by equipping the Outsider's Heart. Bone charms can also be found in the levels that give you small little boosts to things like mana or lung capacity. It's not the biggest and most in-depth progression system, but it certainly makes the game a lot more fun and satisfying, especially with all the fun unique powers you can unlock and upgrade. The combat isn't as in-depth as the stealth. You can obviously use guns and your sword. It has a pretty simple block and counter system, but it's still really brutal and cinematic, so even when you're not sneaky, Dishonored is still a lot of fun to play. Also, just like Hitman, this game has some great replay value. If you just play the whole thing through once, it's only about 5 to 6 hours depending depending on all the exploring and extra stuff you do, but each mission can be replayed and played differently several times, and you'll discover new ways to complete the missions the more you play. You can easily put in 30 hours into this game, replaying the levels and finding all the cool unique stuff in the world. The levels also have a lot of secret areas with items and coins to scavenge and explore, along with special opportunities. It really pays off to explore and search for better opportunities in Dishonored. With the coins, you can buy and refill supplies at Piero's and unlock new upgrades for your weapons and tools that will help with things like accuracy, damage, range, and effectiveness. Dishonored has some really solid level design, tons of areas to parkour and traverse. It has a very rural, artistic design to the world. I really like the art style. It's got that cartoony art style, and it's aged pretty well. I mean, the graphics are nothing to write home about, but they still look serviceable, especially on PC. It does have very limited graphic settings and doesn't have a crazy amount of detail or anything, but it was good enough for me personally. I don't need crazy good graphics, and considering it's from 2012, it's not bad at all. But overall, I would definitely still recommend this game 9 years later in 2021, especially for people who enjoy stealth games. You'll have a lot of fun with this game, and it's pretty easy to find it for a cheap price or on sale these days, so why not check it out? The gameplay is a lot of fun. It has some great level design and a serviceable story behind it. Again, if you want me to check out Dishonored 2 and make a video on that as well, let me know down in the comments and I'll happily check that out. If you guys enjoyed this video, I've made a ton of others like it for a bunch of different games at this point, so check out my game reviews playlist for more and consider subscribing for more videos like this in the future. I have a Discord server you can join if you'd like. The link for that is in the description. And other than that, thanks for watching and stay stealthy out there, assassins.